All right, we are live on YouTube, and tonight I'm going to be discussing the fact that social media hasn't changed us, rather it has exposed us. So stick around and find out exactly what I'm talking about. All of that and much, much more is coming right. Live from Northern California, welcome to Navigating the Modern World with Coach Eli. And if this is your first time here, and most importantly, you are open to suggestions and change, please consider subscribing and then banging that bell. And after you bang that bell, when that pop-up box pops up, make sure you select all notifications, because that way you won't miss a single thing. You will not miss anything when it comes to getting a better grip on your life. And also make sure on your smartphone, your tablet, your iPhone, your Android, or anywhere that you have the YouTube app installed on, you must also make sure that the YouTube app is set to receive those notifications at a device level. Do all of that and you're set. Oh, the cavalry's coming in. The cavalry's coming in. They were waiting for me to go live. Welcome to the show, ladies. How are you all doing tonight? Mutt Nuts Reviews and Stephanie Ellis, aka Super Steph. Thank you for your comments regarding the members only video I put out earlier today. I know you both are members, and you gave some great feedback, and I greatly appreciate that. I'll respond to it over the next few days. I'm going to mention what's going to be happening with me the next few days here, because I'm going to be taking the day off tomorrow. I'll get to that in a second. But one more time, for people like you, Queen, and other moderators, I am still working on getting free access to my members only videos to all of my moderators. For my moderators, to view my members only content, it is optional to become a member. So again, you do not have to become a member. I will get you that as soon as possible. But anyway, let's check out the chat before I mention what's going to be going on with me over the next day or so. Let's see, Stephanie Ellis, aka Super Steph. She's got the hands up, ready to go. Steph Ellis is here with the Mod Wrench and the members badge. Awesome. Thank you for being here, Stephanie. I appreciate it. Super Steph. Mutt Nuts Reviews. Hey, Eli and everyone. Hey, Mutt. Queen Helen K says, hello, Eli. Hey, Queen. She says, smash the like button for Eli. Mutt Nuts Reviews says, hey, sissy. Hello, Mutt, says Queen. And Mutt Nuts Reviews says, hey, Queen. Hi, everyone, says Stephanie Ellis. Mutt Nuts Reviews, I am okay. Did a live, got 2 hours of watch time. Great. We're going to help you get a whole lot more. Once you're able to start working with me and some other people, we're going to get you monetized, Mutt. I promise you that. And when you're ready and have the time to do it and the energy to do it, you let me know. I'm a Hangouts message away, and we'll make it happen. Thank you so much for being here. Stephanie Ellis, aka Super Steph, love your videos. You give great messages. Well, thank you, Steph. Steph, I'm just curious to know, just, for poops and giggles. I'll say poops and giggles to be clean here. And this is not with any intentions. I'm just wondering, are you a single woman, a married woman? Do you have any children? I'm just curious to know, a little bit about you, because you seem like a pretty positive person. And your feedback means a lot to me. Just so you know, it doesn't always have to be positive unless that's how you actually feel, which I'm not questioning that. I'm just saying, please feel free to constructively criticize any of my videos. If you disagree on something, I really would love to know. And regardless if you're a member, I want to know how you honestly feel. I know you're being honest, but if ever there comes a time where you disagree with something, please put it out there. Mutt Nuts Reviews, okay, I will let you know. Well, that's great. Thank you so much. Let me make sure the notification went out. The notification did go out 4 minutes ago. Awesome. Let me check out the stream health. We're looking good. And that's great. Excellent. Single as a Pringle. Okay. Yeah, I know how that goes. Dating in the modern world is tough. It doesn't seem like anyone wants to date anymore. People just want to have random hookups, and that's partially because, women are more career focused than relationship focused. They're going to college, getting degrees, getting corporate jobs, moving their way up the ladder. And by the time they feel they're ready to have that relationship, they're in their mid to late 30s and their biological clock is ticking. And then they're rushing to try to find that special man. I just love how the modern world is. It is what it is, right? It is what it is, right, Steph? Right, Mutt? Right, Queen? It is what it is. Spirit Box Paranormal Dundee is good. Good morning. Hey, Spirit Box. How you doing, man? Welcome to the show. Thank you so much for being here. Thank you so much for being here. You must be in another country. I can't remember exactly where you're from. I know you've been here in the past, but thank you so much for being here. All right, first things first, folks, because I'm not going to be on too terribly long. I have to end this stream at 10 by 10 Eastern, 7 p.m. Pacific, because I'm going to be going out tonight. And then tomorrow, my activity partner reached out, and she wants to go do a hike, and I'm going to take advantage of it. I'm taking the day off. I'm saying, screw it. I'm taking the day off from my day job and, YouTube. And I'm going to go on another hike. I'm going to take advantage of, the time that she's free and, take that nice hike. I love getting out there. And it was just really great to go on one of my first hikes in many months, over the weekend. So let's continue the trend. I'm in Scotland. That's right. Welcome to the show, bro. And Muttnuts Review says, yep, it is what it is. Absolutely, it is what it is. Excellent. So unfortunately, there will not be a members-only video tomorrow, but there will be one on Friday. And I will, to make up for the few I missed this week, I will more than likely be doing one on Saturday as well. I'm not going to promise it, but I'm going to do my best to get it out there. I'm trying to get them out there as often as possible with a different message, because I know there are so many things out there that, people are struggling with and, they want to hear opinions on. People have been through similar things. And when you can relate to people with the things that you've been through, that's the best way to learn from each other and the best way to help each other. And that's what I like to do. I like to help people by sharing my personal stories. So just know, again, tomorrow I will be taking the day off. So nobody thinks that, Eli's leaving YouTube or something happened to Eli or this and that. I'm taking the day off. Is that okay? Is that all right by all of you? I mean, you let me know. You let me know if it's okay or not. Muttnuts Review says, I am low-key taking time off from going back to live streaming every day. Need to get over this sinus crap I have going on right now. Yeah, I've been a little bit under the weather myself. And again, like I mentioned earlier on in the week, I did go to see my doctor, and I don't have coronavirus. I have the common cold, but a very minor version. I'm feeling a lot better now. I'm just at the tail end of it. And, it kind of makes you feel groggy, right? It kind of makes you feel like you don't want to do anything. But at the same time, for me, I never let any illness, stop me from moving forward. And when I take too much time away from doing what I love the most, which is coming out here and being here for you folks and running my coaching business and this channel, Grip on Life, it takes a toll on me. I don't feel good unless I come out here. This is what I love to do. This is what I'm most passionate about. But I understand where you're coming from, Mutt. I understand. Got my asthma under control. Thank God. Well, that's great to hear, Mutt. And Stephanie Ellis has the black heart and the light blue heart. Awesome, Stephanie. Awesome. I'm curious to know, are you, Stephanie and Mutt, either one of you or both can answer, are you both friends outside of YouTube, or did you meet through YouTube? I'm kind of curious how you found out about each other. Let me know in the chat if that's okay with you. But what I'm going to do, because I'm limited on time, I've got another hour and 15 minutes or 75 minutes. I'm going to switch over to the browser screen, and I'm going to critique a blog that was written on this topic. And before I get to that, where did I get the idea to do this topic? I got the idea to do this topic because I follow a longtime entrepreneur that's a few years younger than me by the name of Gary Vaynerchuk. He goes by the nickname of Gary Vee, V-E-E. And he is a social media and marketing expert. He became an entrepreneur at a very young age. Even when he was in grammar school and high school, he was selling baseball cards and other things to other people, to his classmates and all that. And at a very young age, he started working for his father's, I think it was a wine shop or a liquor store. I think they primarily sold wine. And his father had I think a $2 or $3 million a year business. Well, Gary, back in those days, over 20 years ago, 25 years ago, when Google first came out and they were selling ads at a very cheap rate because they were new. Nobody knew who Google was like 25 years ago or so. They were brand new, right? And when you're brand new, you basically have to, sell your stuff much cheaper to show the value. And once you provide the value and build a large enough audience, such as Google and YouTube have today, then you can just jack up the price. But see, Gary Vee got on board at a younger age. He said, okay, I'm going to take my father's liquor store and I'm going to put it online and sell wine online and advertise it through Google because I see this as the next biggest thing. And if we go 25, 30 years later now in 2020, I mean, Google is everything, right? Like, we don't even call it an internet search anymore. We don't even call it, let's go search for something on an internet search engine, which is what Google is. We just say, we're going to Google that, right? Google has become a household name. Google is a brand. I'm going to Google that. Hey, why don't you Google that and see what it says, right? We don't say we're going to Firefox that. We're going to Opera that, we're going to Internet Explorer that, or, we're going to Microsoft Edge that, or Bing that, right? We say we're going to Google that, right? How many of you say, I'm going to Google that when you don't know what it is? Oh, the doctor's back, huh? Huh, Queen? Hey, doctor, say hi to Randy for me, okay? Randy and I, we're not on the best of terms anyway. So I don't care. You're not affecting me by reaching out to all the people on my Facebook and a part of my former in-person network. Dude, you're wasting your time. You're pathetic, dude. I'm laughing at it because I don't care, dude. It's so dumb. Do you understand? I keep coming back each and every day like nothing happened. I'm just mentioning you because it's comical, man. You're pathetic, man. Let me see here. We only know each other by social media. Stephanie Ellis, aka Super Steph, says, met here on YouTube from another person who shared her, and since then, I love her channel. Yeah, that's awesome. That's a great story. I got to get both you ladies on the panel along with Queen and some other people. I got to have another moderator, hangout live on the air pretty soon. So we'll figure that out. I know I've been saying we're going to do it, but we got to just make it happen sometime soon. We met here on YouTube, says Mutt. LOL, Queen. We were hitting him at the same time. Yeah, they were banning the doctor. He's back. Stephanie Ellis says, LOL, we double teamed him. Well, the doctor will like that. Ladies, when you say you're double teaming the doctor, he's going to take that one way out of context, just so you know. I say Google it a lot, says Mutt Nuts Reviews. Queen Helen Casey, unfortunately, he's back. He never left, Queen. He has nothing better to do until his sentencing date on June 30th, later this month. Stephanie Ellis says, low life POS. He's actually not even a low life, but he behaves like one. He has plenty of money. He has a trust fund. He was a doctor. He has plenty of money. He's not struggling. He lost his wife and his kids because he made a big mistake. He started doing drugs. He started getting addicted on prescription drugs. And then he used another, doctor's prescription pad to write those prescriptions. And then he also paid for those prescriptions with insurance fraud, with fake insurance. he wouldn't even pay for them out of his pocket, even though he has the money. So, I mean, yeah, if you want to call him a lowlife because of the way he behaves, I agree. But the guy really isn't a lowlife. He just behaves like one. You know, he's just an angry, bitter dude that had it all and made a mistake and lost it all because of his own mistake or mistakes. It's the bottom line. Anyway, Queen Helen Casey says, try sewer rat. Okay. All right. So anyway, Gary Vaynerchuk, Gary Vee, turned his father's, to continue the story, he after, finding out about Google, and when the ad rates on Google were very cheap when Google was first launched, Gary Vee, at an early age, in his teenage years or early 20s, he was, selling wine. He was the top salesperson selling wine at his father's wine store. That was like a $2 to $3 million a year business. Not bad, right? But Gary said, let's take this online. And Gary created a website, started advertising on Google when it was very cheap, and took a $2 to $3 million business a year to a $60 million per year business. Now, if you're Gary Vee's father, and what you did took the family business from $2 to $3 million a year to $60 million, how proud would you be of your son? Like, how grateful would you be? You're going to be like, damn, I raised a pretty damn good kid. Wow. I mean, it's a phenomenal story. And I've been following Gary Vee. If you want to do a search for Gary Vaynerchuk or Gary Vee on YouTube, I would do a search. Subscribe to the Gary Vaynerchuk page. There's also the Gary Vee fan page as well that puts out clips, of his videos, and he puts out content very regularly and talks a lot about how social media has affected us and how great social media actually is if you use it the right way, and most importantly, you're not lazy. One of the great things about Gary Vee that I like is the fact that he's just like me when he talks about one of the biggest things that holds people back from being successful is being flat out lazy, right? If you're lazy, you're not going to get anywhere, right? So anyway, let's switch over because I got to get on this before I run out of time. Switching over to the browser screen there, and we're going to get to this article that's titled, Gary Vee claims social media is exposing us, and that ain't a bad thing. And this article was written on basedbull.com, and it was written by Christopher Metler, who must love Gary Vee as well and follow his content. Now, how did I find out about this topic regarding social media isn't changing us, it is exposing us? Is I follow Gary Vee, and I saw the first time he talked about this was a video earlier on this year. And I've been meaning to do this topic for quite some time. I just, had some other things to do, but now's the time. And like, this is one that is extremely near and dear to my heart because it makes a lot of sense. And whenever I don't do a topic right away, folks, I have a notepad on my iPhone and my laptop, and I will write a note of the topic and put notes, because if you don't take notes, what happens? You forget because you're busy, right? So if you get a topic idea for a live stream or a video that you're not going to do that same day or the next day, or even the next day, write it down. Well, use digital, use a digital notepad. You can write it down too and be old school, but use your phone and make a note of it, set a reminder, or go on your laptop and use a notepad and save it so that way you can go back and refer to it. And here's Gary Vee. You can see Gary Vee right there. Not a bad looking guy, very passionate about what he does. He really loves what he does. He really loves what he does beyond the money. He's pretty good shape, takes good care of himself. And for a guy, I think he's 44. I think he's a couple of years younger than me. I mean, I can even look it up right now. How old is Gary Vee? Gary Vaynerchuk. Gary Vaynerchuk is 44 years old, born November 14th, 1975. So yeah, he's just about 2 years older than me, 2 years and a month older than me, 25 months. if I only knew, at a younger age, what I know now, what Gary Vee knew at a younger age, I would be right there with him. Like, folks, I really I didn't become an entrepreneur until I was, oh my gosh, how old was I? 33 or so? I'm 46, around 33 or so. Had I started, even at 25 or 20, or even before that, like Gary Vee did, and younger, and I have a lot of energy at my age, but, I had even more energy back then and more time. Now, I can only imagine where it would have taken my brand, how many more people I would have been able to help since that time. But you know what, folks? It is never too late. If you're really, truly passionate about something, it's never too late to start. So let's see. Mutnuts Review says, I just recently watched a video, I believe it was by Vivid IQ, or maybe you meant VidIQ. You got that, voice to text. That's okay. On Gary Vaynerchuk. I have a notebook, says Mutt. I write my ideas down in as well as I type all those ideas into a Google Doc. Did I access from my laptop or my cell phone? Oh, you mean you can access them? Yeah, I know what you're saying. So with Google Documents, you can access them on your phone, any other mobile device, or your laptop. That's great. That's a great way to do it, Mutt. I'm very, very proud of you. You're very well organized, and being organized is very, very important. Okay, so let's get right to this. Let's move forward here. Social media, the phenomenon that serial entrepreneur, best-selling author, universally acclaimed speaker, and ubiquitous internet personality Gary Vaynerchuk has vaunted to be as powerful as oxygen, even without our experiencing its full capabilities yet. Is there any branch of industry that the outspoken half-man, half-brand, half-digital experiment who we recently profiled in our fall cover story is more vocal about? Yeah, I have to agree with Chris. Like, Gary Vaynerchuk, Gary Vee, is incredible. He has so much energy, so much passion, and so much, love for what he does. But most importantly, one of the main things I share in common with Gary Vee is he loves people. He loves getting out there. He loves doing public speaking gigs. I used to do that all the time in person. He loves coming and doing, he's doing almost daily live streams now, Monday through Friday, on his Gary Vaynerchuk channel. And he just loves going live. He loves creating videos. He loves getting together with people and strategizing. I mean, this guy just loves people. And another thing I really like about him is that, he talks about the fact that initially, to provide value, you have to give most of your content, if not all of your content, away for free until enough people start to see value or perceive value. And then those people will be your biggest cheerleaders. And that's what I really love about this guy. The reason why he makes so much money and it's sustainable is because he's built this over decades. And he's risen up with the internet. He is always on top of every single trend. Again, like I said earlier, when Google, first started, they were selling ads very cheap because no one knew who they were. They had to provide the value, so they practically had to give it away for free. Gary got on top of that. Gary's great on seeing the new trends, seeing new social media platforms, and leveraging them before they get locked down. Remember the days where Facebook, would promote people's postings without having to pay for them, right? Well, that's different now. Now, unless you pay, most people won't see your post. Maybe 5% of even your friends will see your posts unless you pay. So this guy's great at getting on board at the ground floor, and I respect that. I've learned a lot about that from him. In his 2011 hardback, The Thank You Economy, Gary Vee applauded social media for making it possible for consumers to interact with businesses in a way that is often similar to how they interact with their friends and family. In 2013's Jab, 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 Right Hook, how to tell your story in a noisy social world, the chairman and CEO of VaynerX, a USD $150 million plus media holding agency,
deemed one of the fastest growing on the planet, compared it to crack, immediately gratifying and hugely addictive. Yeah, this guy has his company VaynerX, that he's the CEO of, obviously. He owns it. $150 million company. And I think it's even worth more than the time this was written. I think this was written a year or two ago. I didn't see the date on it. And again, the reason why Gary is so successful is because he provides a lot of value. He puts out so much content every day for free. He gives away all his tips for free. So if he gives away his tips for free every single day, you may ask, how's he making money? Well, here's the thing. Gary Vee can teach you how to do everything, but what's the biggest issue in people or with people doing things that they're supposed to do? It's either they're lazy or they don't have enough time to do it themselves because they're busy creating content. Like for me, I advertise and promote my own stuff, but let me tell you, it takes a huge toll on me because I have to spend half my days promoting my stuff, and then I have to run what I promoted, right? If I'm going to spend half the day promoting a live stream and then running it, there's nothing more I can do. So the way Gary makes money is, basically, he gives away all his stuff for free. And if you're able to do it and find a way to balance it and do it, that's fine. But as you grow and get more and more busy, you're going to need to have a company that has people that can do it for you. So think about it. That's why this guy's successful. He's not trying to sell you anything. His product sells itself. You know why? Because he gives it away to you for free. But the value of paying for his services is the fact that I can't handle it anymore. I'm so busy. I need to hire a team. I can't grow any further past a certain point unless I have more people helping me. Love it. And then 2016's Ask Gary Vee, one entrepreneur's take on leadership, social media, and self-awareness. He positions certain social media services as a goldmine of opportunity for any team that wants to create real relationships and build loyalty with its young fans. Exactly. That's another thing he does that's great. Okay? He positions certain social media services as a goldmine of opportunity for any team that wants to create real relationships. It's all about relationships. Get to know, like, and trust people. I've talked about this before in another video weeks ago. How important is the know, like, and trust process? Very important. Get to know, like, and trust people. And once you get to know, like, and trust them by basically giving them almost everything, if not everything, for free initially, then they're going to value your content. Again, look what I mentioned this last week. I have to mention it again. I don't force anyone to buy my memberships packages, and my moderators, I'm going to give them all my members only stuff for free. But because Mutt Nuts Reviews and, Stephanie Ellis, aka Super Steph, valued my content so much, they wanted to show their appreciation by becoming a $4.99 per month member. Even though I was going to give them that content for free. I give away so much content for free every day. And that's what you have to do to build value. And let the people see it for themselves. Because when people see value and they actually get something out of what you're doing to help them, they're going to want to thank you, even monetarily, without you even asking. And that's the position Gary Vee takes. That's what I love about this guy. That's why he has $150 million plus, per year company. Incredible. That's just a tipping point. But lately, the escalating opinion that social media, despite its positive business and social impacts, adversely affects us has been gaining more and more steam. Well, that's interesting that, this blog artist said that because, a lot of people are saying that social media has changed our behavior. Social media has made us lazy. Social media makes us do things that we wouldn't do otherwise. No, in my opinion, I agree with Gary Vee, and we'll get that a little bit in this article here. It hasn't changed us one bit. It's exposing us because we just now have an easier way to do what we would do in person if it was easier to do it in person. When you've got a global audience here on YouTube, Twitter, Facebook, or any other platform that you use regarding social media, if you're a woman and you take a picture, with, you stooping over with showing a little cleavage or sticking your butt out, right? And you put that on Twitter or Instagram, you're going to get 100,000 hits just like that. And if you're in public in front of 4 or 5 of your friends and you do that, you're going to have 4 or 5 of your friends looking at you. What's the difference? You have a wider audience. So people are not behaving any differently because of social media. They're just amping it up because there's a bigger audience. And everybody loves attention, whether we admit it or not. Let's just be real. And we all know women live for attention. That's just the way they were made, right? But even as a man, even men, even though we don't come out and say it too often, we love attention too. Let's be real about it. Let's be real about it. All right, let me check out the chat here real quick. Let's see what's going on here. Let's see. Melas Review says, I also use the Google Docs for all of my videos, show notes, and talking points. Is that I'm going to do what you're going to do in the video, or my Q&A questions for my Q&A. I just use print the page out when I film. And you'll get so good eventually that it'll all be in your head. Like for me, I just go from my heart, but I'm an experienced public speaker. I can guarantee you, Mutt, if you keep doing what you're doing, you're going to become so good at public speaking. You're going to become an experienced public speaker like myself, and then it'll just come out naturally. I used to need notes all the time myself. Now it's like I say, fuck the notes, screw it. I just go from the heart. But no, it's a great way to get yourself going in the right direction. Absolutely. Melas Review says, I also have a planner to keep track of what my videos have been filmed, edited, and posted. Fantastic. Queen Helen Casey, smash the like button for Eli. Thank you, Queen. Appreciate it. All right, let's get back to the article here. Social media isn't a new trend. One of Canada's most widely read newspapers, the Globe and Mail, was among the first to blow the lid right off this can of worms. In an op printed this summer, personal finance columnist Rob Carrick respectfully questioned whether the booming trend of social media posts about toys, trips, and triumphs symbolized anything more than privileged bragging. Well, there are a lot of people that come out here on social media and show off. And you know what? If that's what they want to do, that's on them. As a coach and as a human being, is that what I want to do? Is that what I do? No, it's not what I want to do, and I don't do that because I don't feel me showing off what I got, is valuable. It's not, right? It's, in my opinion, and it should be a fact, it's an insecurity. And I'm not an insecure person to the point of where I feel the need to show off every little toy I get, every trip I take. Now, don't get me wrong. If I go on some trips, I'll incorporate my trips into my videos, and that's fine. But, bragging about toys and things that you own, like expensive things that most other people can't afford, just to, make yourself feel better and show off, not a good thing in my opinion. And I think the right people that you need to follow you to be successful are not going to resonate with that. As a matter of fact, it's probably going to repel them. So, social media is a place where people can do what the blog artist said, or the blog author said, privileged bragging. Privileged bragging. Wow. That's a great way to put it. Excellent. He indicated there's a line that can be crossed where the sharer comes across as excessive and tone deaf, before going so far as to suggest the impending likelihood of backlash against showing off exotic vacation spots, fancy restaurants, and the like. You know what? I cannot stand those people that do videos and show off a lavish lifestyle and try to use it as their value of selling you their program, right? I got to tell you, folks, I believe in the saying, if it sounds too good to be true, or if it seems too good to be true, it probably is. It usually is. Not all the time, but most of the time. And when you see people coming out there saying, I've got this beautiful mansion, I've got this, I've got a housekeeper on every floor of my three or four story mansion. And I've got this Ferrari. Do you want a Ferrari? Do you want a Lamborghini? Do you want a Porsche? Do you wish you could have this? Well, stick around and I'm going to show you how you can have everything I've got and what it took me to make it happen. Stick around, right? That's a pitch, right? That's a sales pitch. No one in the modern world wants to be pitched something. No one does. Okay? I'm not saying pitching something in certain cases isn't right. But for the most part, in that situation, that's a total sales pitch. And typically people that are already rich and have a lot of money that are trying to sell you a package on how they got rich, the only value that they have is the fact that they're rich. And even if you do everything that they tell you to do, it doesn't mean you're going to be rich. But these rich dudes to sell their products will say, if you do everything as I said, you will have everything I have. No, it's not guaranteed, man or lady. But yeah, I don't like those videos where people show off. It turns me off more than anything. What do you think in the chat? Curious to know. So, Forever America joined March 2nd, 2019. I'm assuming you're probably from the other side or from the past here. Because you say social media is mainly controlled by the leftists, and that's where the bias comes in. Politics, riots, whatever it touches. No, dude, you are from the other side. Why don't you stop hiding behind a fake username, identify yourself. Let's have a conversation about this, because you conservatives seem to always blame the left for everything. No, that's not going to happen, dude. Social media companies are not controlled by leftists. And even if they were, us leftists, I'm slightly left, not extremist, like you are probably a right-wing extremist. Us leftists are very, fair when it comes to, handling things, even when it comes to people on the opposite side, the right-wingers. Queen banned him. And that's fine. No worries, Queen. He was probably going to get banned anyway. I was going to let him stick around for a little bit, but leave him banned. It's fine. Because he's definitely from the other side. But again, that's a projection. Like, why do you see, you right-wingers, I keep mentioning you guys, you right-wingers seem to always come to people like me on the left saying that I'm projecting, right? But what do you think you're doing when you criticize the left for everything? You're projecting. That's a projection. Dude, why can't you just say, look, some people are biased. It has nothing to do with left versus right. It has to do with how the individual person, decides to handle things. Why does it have to be about left versus right? It's not about that. That's the problem you right-wingers have, especially you right-wing extremists. That's just my opinion. Melas Review says, I don't like people who brag about what they got or how much they make. To me, them join that is belittling people who don't have what they have. Yeah, then they belittle them. Right. They show off what they got, and then they belittle people that they assume don't have as much as they do. When it's on social media, people assume a lot. And that's part of their, marketing strategy. They find an audience that enjoys that type of content, and they feed off of that. They play off of that. It's pretty pathetic. Yeah, I can't stand people that show off much at all. It's not the right way to do it. Even the contrarian, although seldom for the sake of it, Vaynerchuk contends this notion that we use social media to promote ourselves is just an extension of what we always did. I agree. Let me read that again. Vanderchuck contends this notion that we use social media to promote ourselves is just an extension of what we always did. I said it earlier. I'll say it again. We're using social media to show people what we always have done or what we would have been doing even if social media didn't exist. The only difference is we have a bigger worldwide audience on social media. And now, in addition to having that bigger audience, having these smartphones attached to our hips where we get, our social media ads, Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, LinkedIn, right? TikTok now, Instagram, Pinterest, all of them, right? They come right to your phone wherever you're at. No difference. The only difference is you hit a huge audience very quickly. If social media and the internet and the digital world wasn't around, there's no way in hell you'd be able to hit 100,000 likes on a picture of you bending over, showing some cleavage or sticking your booty out, right? Come on. I totally agree with you, Gary Vee. Perfectly stated. Your mom didn't go have tea with her girlfriend and start airing out all her dirty laundry, he conceded in an exclusive interview for BaySaintBull.com. Maybe with her closest friend, but we PR ourselves anyways. We always have, forever. Right. Now, Gary, the one difference I will say there is that when women used to get together and have, tea time, right? Back in the days of traditionalism, right? While the men were working, they'd bring the kids over to one of the ladies' homes and they would have tea, right? I'm sure that some of it had to do with dirty laundry and stuff like that. But for the most part, back in those days, women were not talking badly about their husbands because the last thing they wanted was, for one of the other women to go to the husband and say, hey, your wife's talking smack about you. When the woman was dependent on the man for everything back then. Without the man, the woman couldn't survive. The man was bringing money and the man was the provider, right? So, you have to take that into consideration as well, that we live in a different world. Not only is traditionalism pretty much, for the most part, dead, women are no longer dependent on men for everything because they're now liberated and they're working, right? So now on social media, people do go out there and air their dirty laundry. Even if it's only supposed to, even if it was only meant for one person, they'll go out there and they'll just start venting because they just want someone or anyone to hear about it, right? And then by the time they realize it's too late, they put it out there, somebody's downloaded it and re-uploaded it to 100, fake channels and then try taking it down. Once you put it out there, it's out forever. So you got to always take into consideration that whatever you put out there is permanently out there. Vanderchuck raises a salient point. Consider how the word cool originated way back in the 1920s in jazz clubs where if you were cool, it signified you were a person who knew how to stand out by dancing. The clothes you dressed in, the slang you spoke, Electra, yes, it was recognition that how you expressed yourself was unique and respected by others. Yeah, people were unique individuals. Like there were no copycats out there. Like nowadays, people are trying to copy anyone that, gets good traction, thinking that they're going to get similar traction. No. Being unique, being original, and being authentic, that's the best recipe for success. But that makes perfect sense. Back in those days, I think life was much simpler. There was no internet. Cars were just a new thing back then. And it was still a traditional world. Going to a jazz club was one of the few places where you could hear music. Now you had your radio, but radios weren't as great as they are today, the stereo sound and all that. If you wanted to hear real good music and have fun, you'd go to the club. And you know what? If you wanted to stand out and be noticed and be recognized, the clothes you dressed in, the slang you spoke, if you're a great dancer and you can light up the dance floor with your moves, excellent, right? In the modern age, then, what's really the difference between that and only frequenting establishments where you can check in, like on Facebook? I remember Facebook started the check-in thing. I remember that. Or not being able to take a bite of your meal before first tweeting a picture. Right. I used to do that all the time. Up until a year and a half ago or so when, people out here on YouTube, were checking out my Facebook and making content off of everything I would do out there. It was pathetic. So I had to lock down my Facebook. So I don't check in on Facebook anymore. I don't do any of that. Now, I don't know if I'll do it in the future again. Who the heck knows? But I used to do it all the time. I used to go, and it used to drive the women I was dating back in those days, used to drive them crazy because I'd say, hey, babe, come here, let's take a picture. And let me check you in, let me tag you, and let me write a posting. And then you're sitting there at the dinner table, right? And you're doing a check-in, right? And then you're not paying attention to her for 10 minutes, right? And you know what happens when you don't pay attention to the woman you're on a date with for 10 minutes? They start to get bored. They start twitching their thumbs. Oh, I thought you were here to spend time with me. You're on your phone, this and that, right? All right, you know how it goes. But then when they want to be on their phone, then you got to just be cool with it no matter how long they take, right? I'm only messing around when I say that, but I'm really not. But you know what I mean. Anyway, let's see. Or obsessively checking Facebook to see how many friends have liked your new profile picture. Yeah. So you go on a date or hang out with people, right? You put on a new picture, right? And you're sitting there every 5 minutes looking to see how many likes you get. That's pathetic. Or letting the number of likes your Instagram post received dictate your mood for the afternoon. Now that's even more pathetic. So your validation is people you don't even know and how they respond to you through this social media world we live in. That's pathetic. Conversely, last year on Medium, a social journalism platform, author Chamwa Shikati remarked how too often you encounter people on social media with double identities. That's right. And you even have fake accounts too. Some of them have hundreds of identities, like the doctor. If you're the doctor, man, that guy is, anyway, enough said about that. In fact, he proposed a self-centered attitude and the need to be accepted and liked has led users to create or lead a life they feel will be accepted and liked by the masses. Yeah, if you're a self-centered person, I want nothing to do with you because basically you're selfish. That's another way of saying you're selfish. You're inconsiderate of other people around you and their wants and needs. You only care about what's best for you, and you don't take other people's feelings, wants, and needs into consideration, right? So because you have that attitude, you're self-centered, and people in real life are going to be repelled by that. You're now going to social media to seek that validation you're not getting in person, right? And social media is exposing the fact that you're doing no different online than what you're doing offline. Right? In other words, that is now more about social acceptance than standing out. Social acceptance, right? It has become more about social acceptance than standing out. It should be about standing out because that's why I'm here and do what I do. I'm not here looking for acceptance. I already love who I am. And if you love me too, that's great. Stick around. Let's go on a great journey together. If you don't love me, then have a nice day. If you don't love me and you distract my channel, we'll just remove you ourselves and move on, right? But it should be more about standing out than seeking social acceptance. Again, it all boils down to one thing. Are you secure or insecure? Do you love yourself or do you not love yourself? Because people that don't love themselves are going to constantly be seeking validation through others. And if you can't get it in person, guess where you go? You go to social media because it's a broad audience and it's real simple to take a picture or a video or create a video and put yourself out there and seek validation. It's pathetic. Again, Vaynerchuk, who counts 6 million followers strong on Instagram and Twitter collectively, in addition to over 100 million views on YouTube, isn't buying it. Yeah, neither am I. I don't blame Vaynerchuk for that. It's the same thing online and offline. These people are the same, right? They just have a bigger, broader audience out here, and it's easier to reach people digitally, especially if they're in another country or if they're 100 miles away. You can reach everyone globally with one posting or one video. In person, you can reach the person that's nearby you. Or if they live a mile or two away, you can run, walk, or drive there in a few minutes or in a half hour if you're walking or running, right? I would argue that the internet technology, live streaming, and photos have actually suffocated us from our ability to put on a fake front more than it did 20 years ago. You counter. Absolutely. If you're fake and phony out here on YouTube or on Facebook or on Twitter or anywhere else that you post, right? Social media content, people are going to read right through you. People have a knack for that nowadays. People know. Now, if you're on an entertainment channel and, you have, different types of content that's more of a drama content or something like that, if the purpose of your channel is fiction, then that's a different story. Okay? That's a different story. Fiction, not true. Let's see here. The only difference is that we are all doing it now, so publicly it doesn't go away. You posturing at the PTA in 1984 died in that room. You doing that in an Instagram photo now stays for us to be able to see forever. Even if you delete it, someone probably downloaded it or copied it, right? Look at that dude. This dude is so laid back. He's laid back. He dresses very casually. And he has a lot of respect from people. Do you think he earned that respect right away without doing the work? No, he says it himself. You got to do the work. You got to do the work. You've got to do the work. Don't be lazy. We're at 6:28 Pacific, 9:28 Eastern. I've got 32 minutes left to get through this. Let's see how much more we have. We may be able to get through it a little bit sooner. Let's see. Let me just see how much longer we have here. Oh, we're not. We're pretty close. We're good. Let me check out the chat real quick. My voice to text is adding words. I didn't say LOL. That's okay, Mutt. No worries. Let's continue here. It's not changing us. It is exposing us. It is not changing us. It is exposing us. When I first saw the video where Gary Vee was talking about this in front of a crowd, I was blown away. I was blown away. Hey, to the person behind the scenes that just sent me a private message, I've not even paid attention to anything besides my own channel and the people I care for, including you, for the last several days. Like, I really don't care at all. I don't. But thank you for taking the time to, make me aware of some things that I just really don't care about. Back to the show. And thank you for watching too. I appreciate it. All right. Where did we leave off at? It is not changing us. It is exposing us. With no less than 5 New York Times chart-topping books to his name, all of them addressing social media up front, as we elaborated upon at the outset, in addition to his Ask Gary Vee advice show, hashtag Ask Gary Vee advice show, daily V vlog, and top-ranked The Gary Vee Audio Experience podcast, Vaynerchuk's thought leadership on this subject is more than qualified. Absolutely. I have mad respect for Gary Vee. Mad respect for many reasons. Okay, him and his family, immigrated here. I think they came from Russia, if I remember correctly. I can actually look that up real quick. Gary Vee. Gary Vee was born in Babrusk in the Soviet Union. Yeah, today part of Belarus, and immigrated to the United States in 1978 at the age of 3. He is of Jewish descent. Growing up, Vaynerchuk lived in New York City's Queens borough, later moving to Edison, New Jersey. Yeah, so, his family came here when he was 3 years old. And that's why he has no accent, because he, pretty much with the exception of not being born here in the U.S., he was raised here, from, the age of 3. And that's what my family did too. My mom and my dad, and my dad's side of the family came here to the U.S. for a better opportunity. And because my dad did that, I stand here today, love what I do, and am in a very good position to do it. I'm very grateful and thankful for that. And that's, partially why I respect Gary Vee. He had a great upbringing. He has a great family. And, has great morals, values, and ethics. All right, let's continue here. Still, the growing consensus out there is that social media permeates, I can't even read that damn word. Permeates. What the hell? I've never even heard of that word. I'm going to look that damn word up. Spread throughout. Okay. Permeate. The aroma of soup permeated the air. We don't speak like that. What? Don't make me feel stupid. Like, I understand that that's college level vocabulary, but not even people in college use a word like that. Oh my God. Anyway, it's my opinion. Virtually every part of our lives, and not always advantageously so. The most people attach their self-esteem to their social media activity. That's right. That's right. And I'm not going to lie. When 2 ex-girlfriends ago, not my last girlfriend, 2 ex-girlfriends ago, cheated on me, I did reach out to social media as an outlet. And initially, one of the things that fueled me to get this business going here and this channel going is that woman that cheated on me. And it was an outlet, but I knew I also could help people. And I knew that, I had had enough experience in life where I could help people by hopefully teaching them what I've been through, and that way they can prevent going through what I've been through, or at least learning how to handle it better if they go through it than I did initially. For his part, Vaynerchuk finds the concept to be laughable. Social media isn't changing us, he proceeded to clarify. It is exposing us. And that, he believes, might just be the greatest 1 step backwards, 2 step forward motion of humanity at the moment. Yeah.
Let me read that again. Vaynerchuk finds the concept to be laughable. Social media isn't changing us. He proceeded to clarify it is exposing us, and that he believes might just be the greatest one step backwards, two step forward motion of humanity at the moment. A lot of people aren't realizing that. I really love the way this guy thinks. He thinks really deep. But when he presents what he speaks, he's so clear with his message. And if people have questions and they're not understanding what he's saying, he'll make you aware. He might give you an F-bomb or two because you know, he's that kind of guy. The guy loves the F-bomb more than anyone, more than me. But I respect that. I respect that about him. And yeah, people need to realize that social media doesn't control us. Social media hasn't changed who we've always been. It's just a place where we can share, you know, who we've always been and who we currently are. Why put something out there that you're not doing, right? And if you do something stupid on social media to try to get attention, how different is that than doing something stupid in real life to get attention? You know, growing up in high school, there used to be so many, you know, classmates of mine that would do stupid things in class to try to get attention. They try to do it behind the teacher's back. And then they would always get popped and get detention for it, right? What's the difference here between something like that in person and social media? The only difference is the fact that you have a huger digital audience globally instead of the one right in front of your face where you're at physically. As an example, Vaynerchuk claims the ongoing movement against sexual harassment and sexual assault, which has taken the world by storm and brought down some of Western society's most powerful incumbents, is ultimately going to be more transformative for us than we think. If you're not an old white dude, you love it, he told us. But guess what? Every single thing you're doing wrong is next. Okay? That pretty much speaks for itself right there. I have nothing more to add to that. You know, Gary, the thing, again, like I said about Gary that I love the most, he is so clear with how he feels and what he talks about. I've never met any other public speaker that speaks as clearly as I do. And that I feel him and I have in common. I'm not saying I'm any better than him. I'm not. I look up to that guy. I respect that guy. Does that mean I suck or I'm terrible? No. I have a lot of respect for him. He's a phenomenal person. And you never know, one day if I finally, get this channel going to where it's going to go at some point soon, maybe I'll become big enough through the numbers and have a chance to meet him and do some speaking gigs with him. I would love that. That's how much respect I have for this guy. This is just one chapter, is what I'm trying to say. Vaynerchuk continued, every shortcoming you have as a human will be exposed over the next 50 years, which then leads to the most exciting part, that we're going to start accepting each other for these shortcomings. Right. One more time. This is just one chapter, Gary Vee said. Every shortcoming you have as a human will be exposed over the next 50 years through social media, because people are going to put it out there, whether it's you or someone else you're around. If they get video of you or if they snap a picture of you, who's to say they're not going to put it publicly? People do that all the time. It's like the press. The press has always done that, right? Freedom of the press, right? It's no different now with social media. Everyone has a smartphone. Everyone has a smartphone that takes high quality pictures, and you can also upload it to social media from your damn smartphone immediately, whether it's video or a picture or pictures. Which then leads to the most exciting part, that we're going to start accepting each other for these shortcomings. We're going to start to say, hey, it is what it is. This is the way people live now. It's social media, right? Again, we're no different than we were before social media existed.
we are just exposing to a greater amount of people who we really are in a very quick way. Yes, he is confident we will have much better conversations around mental health 5 decades from now than we do today. About insecurity, lack of self-esteem, sexuality, and finance. We are in the beginning of a much better era for the human race, yet everybody's looking at it as this huge negative. Everybody except Gary Vee, that is. And that's the end of the blog article right there. But again, I have to look at that last line here, and I'm going to highlight it. About insecurity, lack of self-esteem, sexuality, and finance. We are in the beginning of a much better era for the human race. Yet everybody's looking at it as this huge negative. You know why? Because people want to be able to do whatever they want to do, even if it's bad, and they don't want to be exposed for the bad things they do. Right? If you don't want to be exposed for doing bad things, then why do bad things in the first place? Be a good person. I live my life in positive ways. So no matter who takes a picture of me, no matter who gets video of me, no matter what it is that I do in any given moment, right, or at any given moment, whether I'm online or offline and somebody gets content on me, I'm not ashamed of it. I agree with Gary Vee. When, the blog owner says, or the blog author says, yet everyone's looking at it as this huge negative, everybody except Gary Vee, that is. Let me zoom in on that. Everybody except Gary Vee, that is. What you folks think about that blog in the chat? Let me know. We're going to go back to full screen. I'm going to wrap this up in a few minutes here, a little bit earlier than my max time. That was great. That was great. Wow. Okay, let me see what's going on in the chat here real quick. He doesn't sugarcoat things. He tells it like it is. Absolutely. Sorry, I was just checking a few things out. Sorry for the silence there. So any final thoughts from anybody in the chat? What do you think about that article? I thought this was a very good topic to discuss today. And loved it. Was well done, says Muttnuts Reviews. I'm going to wait for a few more people to give their response. And if not, we're going to wrap this up in a second. And we had a good amount of people here, actually. It shows that we had 147 views throughout this show, which is not bad. An hour and 8 minutes, not too bad. I'm sure more people will catch it on the replay. But this is the kind of topic, these are the kind of topics, folks, I like to discuss. And this is the direction this channel is heading. We're going to be talking about these social media topics. We're going to be talking about political topics that affect us. We're going to be talking about male and female relationship dynamics in the modern world. We're going to be talking about being an entrepreneur, business and finance in the modern world. Queen Helen Casey says, interesting. Yeah. And that's why I do these streams, Queen, because I get great value from it. And I know not everyone sees these streams, even though Gary Vee's pretty popular. A lot of people still don't know about him. So now, I exposed Gary Vee to some more people, including yourself. And you folks may want to go check out his channels. Just do a search, Gary Vee or Gary Vaynerchuk. If I actually, whoops, sorry, give me a second here. Gary Vaynerchuk. Let me copy and paste his name in the chat. That's his name right there. Just do a Google search and do a YouTube search. You'll find his channels. Subscribe to them, bang the bell. He's a phenomenal person. He's very inspirational, very motivational, and just a good dude that has created success by doing the one thing that I also feel is the most important thing: building relationships, building value, and doing that by basically giving away everything he does for free, for the most part, if not everything. And then when people don't have the time to do it themselves, they hire him and his company to do their social media. Not because these people can't do it. They've learned it from him by him giving it away for free. They just don't have the time to do it. They're getting so busy they need help. So he provides phenomenal value, and I respect him for that. All right, with that being said, folks, I got to get on out of here. I got to grab myself something to snack on, and I'm going to go out with some friends tonight. Again, tomorrow I'm going to be doing some hiking with my activity partner. I will not be, I'm taking the day off from both my jobs, my day job and YouTube. But folks, you folks enjoy. Have yourselves a great night. And I'll be back on Friday with another members-only video and at least one additional live stream. Have a good one. Take care. Bye-bye. Bye. Bye. We're out. We're out. We're out. Gary Vaynerchuk. Or Vaynerchuk. Sorry, I keep mispronouncing his name. We're out.